It's Tuesday, October 29th, and I have decided to start digging into this box that I had here in the bedroom underneath all of this stuff. I don't know if any of those are movies. I'm really hoping not. I know I've got way too much shiitake. Oops, I don't even have the lights on. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. You'd think after 14 days, for fuck's sake, I'd actually know what I'm doing with this shit. But no, that is not the case. Okay. So, yes, I have decided to continue on with, I know that one box in there is movies. And of course, I opened it up. There's a whole fucking shit ton of horror movies in there. There's some comedy movies. There's some TV shows. And it's like, oh, why do I have so much stuff? But I know my friend Hobbs, the one who started me on this whole journey, he's been saying that I've been showing him a lot of titles that he's never heard of before. So I always enjoy, introducing people to new shit if they enjoy it. I got quite a chunk today, maybe more of a chunk than I realized. But from what I could tell of this pile, I don't really know any of them. So, like Severed, Forest of the Dead. Once again, it is open, so I assume I have seen it. But who knows? I sure as shit don't. Tension scale through the roof. A must, according to imdb.com. Special makeup effect by the artist who brought you Scary Movie, Final Destination, Blade, and Freddy vs. Jason. A group of young environmental activists become infected, ravenous, unstoppable zombies when a forest company's genetic experimentation goes disastrously wrong. So, Paul Campbell, The Long Weekend, The Perfect Score, Ill-Fated, Sarah Lind, Fetching Cody, A Simple Curve, Julian Christopher, I'm assuming it's not Julian or Julian, I don't really know. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Hey, I watched that movie and I love that movie. J.R. Bourne, that name sounds familiar. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Score, Josie and the Pussycats. That seems an odd credit to put in a horror movie that has something on it like that. But, to each their own. What's your favorite scary movie? Shazam. That's not a scary movie. Have you seen Shack Act? Benjamin Ratner is also in this. Agent Cody Banks and a guy thing. So, students, zombies eat each other, I assume. This is Dougray Scott. I know him. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It has a very cool, shiny, embossed, and even on the back it's got the little blood stain that's raised. So that's pretty cool. Shockingly frightening and clever. This one is not open, so I have not seen this one. But it has a cool slipcover, and I enjoy that sort of thing. And probably why I bought this. Oh, even the side is... I am such a slipcover horror. I swear, it's kind of like, oh, what if that horror movie is good? And then I can own the version with the slipcover, because they're so cool. It might be good. I don't know. But it does have a shiny slipcover. I feel like I saw this one, or I heard of this one. The Woods, Private School Deadly Lessons. The woods come alive in this frightening tale about a young girl with a marked soul. Fallburn Academy is a prestigious all-girls boarding school nestled deep within the forest. Its newest student, Heather Fasulo, Agnes Bruckner, isn't like the others. She hears voices. Left by her parents, Bruce Campbell, Emma Campbell, under the menacing watch of headmistress Miss Traverse, Patricia Clarkson, and her eerie staff, she quickly realizes that nothing at Fallburn is what it seems. When her classmates begin mysteriously disappearing into the forest, Heather uncovers a horrifying secret. and receives an education in terror. At Fallburn, the biggest lesson to be learned is that there's no escaping the woods. The woods. I either saw this, maybe Netflix, maybe, or I saw a trailer for this because I feel like I wanted to see this, and obviously I didn't. So, you know, it's whatever. This is a classic that I have not seen. I'm going to be open and honest about it, but it has a cool 3D slipcover. Oh, and it changes. The Howling. I feel like this is like a classic, right? The Howling, which is probably why I bought it. I'm a slipcover whore. We've had this conversation. This is the 14th video. But yeah, this one is supposed to be, you know, a classic, which is why I bought it. And the shiny slipcover, obviously, cool slipcover, why I bought it. Haven't watched it. See, it's not open. But it's werewolves, and it could potentially be good. It's from the director of Gremlins, so that's cool. I need to rewatch Gremlins sometime. I always intended. I know this one. Darkness. With Rogue, or Anna Paquin, whatever. She's not just Rogue. She was in that show. Oh my god. I didn't watch it, because it was on Showtime or HBO or something. The show with all, like, the vampires and the werewolves and the shit. It's always a show that I thought about. True Blood. I always thought about watching. It also has Lena Olin, who is an actress I enjoy because she played Sydney Bristow's mom in Alias. And I'm sorry, Ian Glenn. Ian Glenn? Something? I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are, like Anna Paquin and Lena Olin. This is the unrated version. I enjoyed this. I did. It's a creepy ghost, you know, horror movie. I kind of wanted to do, and they did something before the Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. People made a big deal about there being, like, you know, Easter egg ghosts in the background. I remember them doing that in this movie at least once. And it's kind of like, it just, there was like a ghost in the background all of a sudden, and then it was gone. And I almost thought it was like some kind of like editing error or something. And that was kind of weird. But, a family whose life forever changes when they move into a new home with an ancient secret. Not long after Regina Paquin begins living in her family's remote country estate, she learns that there's something horribly disturbing about the old place. Even as her parents dismiss her concerns, strange things begin to happen whenever the lights go out. Soon Regina realizes that a series of escalating supernatural events will unleash the full evil that resides in their house, and once it's released, you'll experience it like never before in this scarier, more shocking, unrated version. I do remember at least being entertained by this. I feel like it was kind of creepy or suspenseful, or, I mean, it's been a minute since I've watched it, but, you know, I haven't opened it since I bought it. But I bought it because I enjoyed it, and I wanted to watch it again. And perhaps someday I will. Now, here we go. Gingerdead Man. Boom. It's a full moon movie about a killer cookie, and at least in the first movie, it's voiced by Gary Busey. I don't think he threatens to pull out anyone's endocrine system, but he should. He should have. This was ridiculous, and it was kind of fun in some ways. It was just like, okay, a killer cookie, you know, because the blood of like a serial killer ends up in her batter at her bakery, and then of course it bakes up this, you know, killer evil cookie thing. And then of course we also have a Gingerdead Man 2, Passion of the Crust, and this was there are two different versions of this cover, and of course I had to have the one that was the most offensive. Bad Yeast Shall Rise Again. This one, is this the one at the film set? Yeah, young Kevin Cheatham has just inherited his father's fledgling movie studio. After a string of unsuccessful box office bombs, the passionate young producer has been struggling to keep the place from closing down for good. Desperate for another hit movie, he quickly put several outrageous genre films into production, including Space Spankers, 2015, Hamburger Time, Traveler Detective, and a sequel to one of his father's infamous and most popular film franchises, Tiny Terrors 9, Purgatory of the Petite. Little does he know that Cheatham Studios is about to get more action than he ever imagined, as the deranged cookie murderer known as the Gingerdead Man is about to crash the studio lot and leave behind a trail of bloody murder and hilarious mayhem. I remember this one. This one's probably my favorite, I believe, of the franchise. The third one, it was like he went back in time or something, and it was like in the disco, and I don't know. It just this one I think was a little bit better at being the tongue-in-cheek. And then I believe in the third one he just starts like spouting like one-liners and kind of, stupid stuff. And I don't know. I felt like this was a little bit more because they're on a film studio and they kind of, take the piss out of themselves a little bit, I think, in this movie. Because, they make these weird, crazy, films and whatever. So I kind of felt this one, I don't necessarily remember it being that suspenseful, but it was, I think it was at least somewhat clever in terms of, horror movie and doing that whole, like, trying to be, killer movie and funny at the same time. And like I said, I had to make sure to buy the most offensive cover that I could. And I did. Whoa, I almost lost it. Oh, well, it turns out I own the original Lost Boys. I didn't know that I owned this. This is kind of one of those, like, I do remember this movie. I enjoyed this movie. One of the best endings, I swear, in film history. I love the end of this movie. It's so great. It's a classic, classic horror, kind of thing. But I also have, let's see, what's this down here? I have Lost Boys, The Tribe, and of course, look at its pretty slipcover. Which one came first? Because also in this pile, somewhere toward the bottom, so now I can put these together because I just found this in a bag, Lost Boys, The Thirst. I don't remember the Frog Brothers Are Back for Blood. Let's see, this one was, oh wait, that's the original. I'm looking at stupidity. That was 2008, this was 2010, so was there, were these the only sequels to Lost Boys? I don't remember for sure. Let's see, he's in there too. The Frog Brother, one of the Frog Brothers. So now I can put all of these movies together as they should be. Because I had this one, and then this one, and then this one. Oops. Of course, the original, still the best, still a classic, still wonderful and lovely and all that. I don't necessarily recall liking these as much. I mean, I guess it was kind of, it might continue the story or something. Oh, this one has Charisma Carpenter in it, apparently. She was Cordelia on Buffy. Oh, she hosts The Art of Seduction, Vampire Love. So I can't quite recall, excuse me, but this one's the uncut version, and it has the cool slipcover. So, and now I can put them all together as they should be, because I found a couple movies in a bag, and I was like, well, I guess I can grab those real quick, and then, so now they're reunited, and it feels okay, I guess. I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I also have Fallen, Don't Trust a Soul with Denzel Washington. I watched this. I did. And I feel like I must have enjoyed it to end up buying it. Or I bought it and watched it. Hey. Well, okay. It's spelled with an E, but there's Hobbs. You're in a movie, Hobbs. Played by Denzel Washington, apparently. Detective John Hobbs is searching for a criminal he's already met, already caught, and already killed. Homicide detective John Hobbs, Denzel Washington, pursues a killer down a bustling sidewalk. There she is, a small, middle-aged woman. No, wait, the killer is the timid man beside her. Now it's someone else. It's all and none of them, because the murderer Hobbs seeks is a demon passing from one human host to another with a brush of an overcoat or touch of a hand. I do remember this one now. Ish. I don't remember exactly how it all shakes out, but I do remember this one, and it was pretty good. Hobbs stalks a seemingly immortal foe in Fallen, an intense thriller co-starring John Goodman and Donald Sutherland, written by Nicholas Kazan, Reversal of Fortune, and directed by Gregory Hoblet, not Hobbit, Hoblet, from Primal Fear. An ages-old evil faces a shattering showdown with one clever, tenacious man. I do remember this now that I read the description. And it was pretty good. It was like, where's the person, who are they in now, very suspenseful, blah 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 blah. I bought this and then did not. I wanted to go to the theater to see this, the new Halloween movie. Of course, it has a cool slipcover. It was maybe good. I don't know. I didn't see it. I did want to go to the theater, but did not make it to the theater, so I bought it with full intention of watching it, and as you can see, have not done so. So, Jamie Lee Curtis, back in action, kicking ass. I don't know if she's taking names. She might not have time for that sort of thing. I don't know. So I just thought this would, be interesting to see Michael and his sister all over again. It might be a good time. I don't know. I also don't know about the Dead Colleen, but look at the shiny slipcover. Her eyes are like all glowy. Her eyes are like all glowy and stuff. I don't know if you can see that very well, but let's see. A long forgotten past, a much deadlier future. This is like a thick. Did I buy this used or something? Or maybe from the well, obviously it was used, but yep, I must have bought it at Hastings. Yep, it says right there, Hastings. Because I was like, this looks like a very thick, almost like you get it at the library or something. When a supernatural force causes Elizabeth, a young reporter, to investigate an old house, she finds herself to be the only hope for a family of long-dead ghosts. But when the father of the family, who is still living, hears about her visits, he takes action to make sure that the truth is never told. I don't know why. It's shiny slipcover. I can tell you I bought it because of the shiny slipcover, and I thought it might be a good movie. It has Alexandra Holden in it. I'm not sure if I know who that is. Sid Haig? I'm not sure. Bill Moseley, Leslie Easterbrook. I know who at least two of those people are, I feel like. And maybe the last one, too. You see the back is all shiny, too. Look at that. The fire face right there. I don't know. I can't tell you. It's the shininess of it caught my eye, I'm sure. And I might have bought it thinking it sounded good. I don't know. I don't know. But here it is, and it's shiny and it's pretty. Now, I do barely remember, and this is the last one we have in our little pile here, Population 436. Population 436. I saw a trailer of this on something else, and I thought that looked good, so I watched it. This is the one with Fred Durst in it, from Limp Bizkit. And the idyllic small town of Rockwell Falls appears to be heaven on earth. But when Steve Cady, Jeremy Sisto, 13, Stevie 6 Feet Under, and Dead and Breakfast, you forgot that one. A federal investigator is sent to learn why the town's population hasn't changed for the last 100 years. He soon learns what truly lies beneath the seemingly perfect surface. Trapped in a twisted web of religious fervor and puritanical tradition from which no one has ever escaped, Cady must now find a way out or lose his life in this riveting, suspense-filled thriller. I remember, I don't remember exactly, as I said before, I don't remember exactly how everything shakes out, but I remember this was a good watch. It is definitely worth a watch. Like I said, I saw the trailer on something else, and I'm like, I want to check that out. And then I did, and then I enjoyed it. And as I said, Fred Durst is in it and plays a sheriff shooting that lady. I don't actually know if that's the same scene or not. But it includes an alternate ending, so that's, neat. A town on the outskirts of terror. The residents of Rockwell Falls are dying for you to visit. But yeah, like the population hasn't changed in 100 years or something, and he's like a census taker, so he gets in there and it's like all figuring out the mystery and the blah 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 blah. And I remember being entertained by Population 346, suspenseful and interesting to me, figuring out exactly for sure what was going on and whatnot. So I would suggest, if you can find a copy of Population 436 or find it on Netflix streaming or Amazon Prime or whatever, I would suggest watching this one because it was entertaining for a watch. And at least I know of a couple of these movies. But yes, now we're going to dig into that box, and as you saw, there's plenty more movies in there to go. Some of them are comedy movies, so we're going to like skip. We're gonna. It's like eat around this, the bad stuff. Like if your cheese is moldy, you just like scoop off the mold of the cheese and throw it away and eat the rest, right? Like that's, and it works the same way with bread and all that stuff, and human flesh. If you don't eat the moldy parts, it's fine. But yeah, we got a couple more days until Halloween, so I'm gonna keep on bringing the horror movies to y'all, and I will see you for what I see you.